YouTube, hey, welcome back, guys. Wanted to give you guys a little how-to video on taking the tires off of these rims here. I know that in several of my videos here, I've been kind of contemplating what to do about these tires because they're just so expensive and they still have quite a bit of tread on them. They're still very good tires. I didn't want to just get rid of them or give them away or throw them away or whatever. So, anyways, I did some research and I'm trying the boiling method. As you guys can see here, I already have 3 of them completed. Okay, they actually came out pretty good. One thing to note is that the color of the rim itself changes, kind of changes color. Kind of changes from like a chrome color to more of like a white. Which for me, I really don't care. I mean, I could just get some spray paint if I wanted to. But here's the foams, and this is what was causing the issue. I'm sure most of you guys know, but I'm sure there's some people that don't. The tires or the rims have 2 holes in them, and what happens is when you run them in snow and water, that gets in the holes, and there's these foams that are inside of the actual tires, the rubber tires here. Okay, and so what happens is the foam it acts like a sponge. So when water gets in here, this gets really heavy, and what ended up happening is it created an unbalanced tire in my case. So when I was running it, there was like little pockets of water, and when I was driving the vehicle, it became very unstable, and I wasn't really able to drive it. So I wanted to still use the tires, so this is what I ended up doing. Basically, I took the tire here, put it in boiling water, which I'm going to demonstrate here in a second, and then I actually waited an hour for these 3 here. They say 30 minutes, some say 45. I just waited a full hour because I didn't want to mess up the bead lock part of the actual tire where the glue goes. This part here, this inner part, which that part right there actually sits in that groove right there on both sides. There's a groove in there, and that's where those the little inside lip right there on both sides sits. So that's basically why you're boiling it. You're basically heating up that glue to where it separates from the rim without ripping the rubber. Now, on the last one that I did, I don't think that it was my doing that caused it, but some sections here of the tread, or the beadlock section here, actually ripped. But like I said, I don't think that was my doing. I believe that was ripped prior to me even taking these off. I noticed that there was some air bubbles coming out from around the rim when I had it, in the water. So I should still be able to, work with this and get it glued up. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, here is the 4th and final rim here. So basically, like I said, I just take the tire. It's firmly glued here. I'll show you guys. See, it's firmly glued. I'm pulling on it. Like I said, it's glued down pretty good. Okay. Now, see, here's what I was talking about, where it's already kind of ripped. I think this is what happened with the other tire too. So just be mindful of that. Like I said, I mean, there's nothing that you can really do about that now. I mean, the damage is done. But you just don't want to pull it too hard when it comes out of the water and actually rip it off. So anyways, take the tire. As you guys can see here, I already has some boiling water here. And you just put it in there. Now what you're going to want to do, you guys can see, that the water line here has gone down. I actually had the water up right to the top of those two little buttons there, whatever you want to call them. And basically, what I've done is I will apply pressure to the side of the tire, which will force the air out, so water will get in there. And that's what you want. You want the water to actually get in there and penetrate that foam to help, loosen up that glue. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get this tire filled up with water, and like I said, I'm gonna let it boil for 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm back. All right, guys, it's been roughly an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. The tire is still sitting in the boiling water. I've been, flipping it every 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out now. As you guys can see here, here's, a towel. And basically, I'm going to put the tire on the towel, and then I'll, take the rim off. Or hopefully, anyways, that's the game plan. And just a, precaution. This is boiling water. It is hot, okay? So if there's any kids, please have a adult supervision or an adult present when you are doing this. It is hot. Very hot, okay? Since this is my fourth tire, I'm going to go ahead and turn the water off since I'm done. Let that cool down. Make sure all of the knobs are turned. Okay, so you can use gloves. I didn't have any, so I'm just simply taking the sides of the towel here, and I'm going to work the tire. AJ, try to get in here, buddy, so they can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Basically, you're wanting to just work the tire here, and you want to pop. You see how that kind of popped out? That's what you want to do, and you just work it around. Okay. You hear it kind of popping a little bit. That's just the glue giving way. Like I said, you don't want to force it. You just want to kind of go with it here. We got a little stubborn spot right there. That's fine. It just gave way on its own. See, just work the rest of it. Like I said, this is hot, so make sure that you're using your towel or your gloves or whatever you're using as a barrier between your skin. Okay, there we go. So as you can see here, very carefully here, I'm going to show you. As you guys can see, all the sides here are loosened up. Okay, so now I'm going to flip the tire over again, being careful. It is boiling water. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the front, taking your towel or your gloves or whatever you may be using, and you just begin to work the sides. Okay. Being careful not to apply too much pressure. There we go. It finally popped. And now you just work around. Okay. Now as you can see, we have the entire bead of the actual rubber out of the seal there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take it over to the sink, run cold water over it so I can actually get the rim separated from the tire. Alright guys, so again, I'm using cold water. Okay, like I said, this just came out of boiling water. So that's why I'm using cold water. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm just working the tire around the inside of the rim here. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to push from the bottom. I'll push that rim out. Give it a little rinse, okay? There we go. Got the rim off. I'm just going to set this to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and, and give these rims a good cleaning before I put it back on. So now what we're left with here is we have the foam on the inside and we have the tire. So again, being careful because the water is still hot, and as you guys can see, the foam is nasty. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my cold water and I'm going to saturate the foam. I'm going to flip it inside out, do the same thing to the other side. Along the way, just kind of brushing all that sand and debris that may be in there off. May have to go around a couple of times depending on how much junk was in there, which this one seemed to have quite a bit. Like I said, guys, I am trying to save these foams, so that's why I'm cleaning them off. If I wasn't saving them, I wouldn't care about them. I just throw them away and replace them with new. Because I mean, the foams are actually in pretty good shape too. Like I said, these tires are pretty new. So I'm trying to keep them. If they were all beat up and holy and cut up and stuff, I'd probably just throw them away. They're not. So alright guys, once you got your debris out, just give it a good wring out. Okay. And I just set it to the side. And then I just take my rubber here, my rubber tire, and just kind of rinse it out. Give it a good rinse. Like I said, you may have to do this a time or two as well, depending on how much debris is in it. Like I said, this one for me seems to be the worst. This one had quite a bit of stuff in it. And then basically, guys, that's pretty much it. For taking the tires off of the rims. And there we go. There we have it. Here's the tire separated from the rim, with slight damage to like the bead lock or the tread where part of the tire where you actually glue it back. Like I said, this wasn't due to the process in which I used. It was just due to driving the truck. But anyways, guys, I hope this video was informational. As you guys can see, there's all four of them. They are all separated. Got the tires, the foams, and the rims. So I hope this was informational. Hope you guys found it helpful. Like I said, this is the first time that I've done it. So now we're going to be on to phase 2, I guess. And phase 2 is going to be actually gluing them back together, which there's hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube about that. So I'm probably not going to worry about that, guys. I just wanted to show you kind of the process in which I took that was very successful for getting my tires and rims off. As usual, guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, see y'all later.